This is a little roadside monument talking about John and Adela Russell, who in 1884 came to this basin and settled 160 acres. They cleared the trees and built a log cabin. On the ranch, they raised timothy hay, horses, and cattle. Life was a challenge for these early pioneers. There were no inroads into the wilderness until 1907. Everything they needed was packed in on horseback. John trapped for fisher, marten, and mink. Adela made butter, which was sold in Natchez. Indians pitched tents in summer and fished for salmon in the Tieton River running through the homestead. The Russells raised 7 children here. In 1917, the land was sold to the Bureau of Reclamation to later become Rimrock Reservoir. At the end of summer, when water is low, you can still see the outlines of some of the buildings and stumps from trees cut down at the Russell Ranch. So this is Rimrock Lake. So we're just taking a little break on the trip back home from the east side of the mountains. I spent a few days over here. Do a few chores. I've got a little house here with a friend of mine living in it. Just clean up some winter tree fall and whatnot. Patch a few holes. I don't know if I'd want to have rental houses, frankly. I mean, you'd be patching stuff, putting stuff back together all the time. But if you're good at it, you know, it might be what you know. And a good way to make some money. My brothers do that, you know, they've got rentals and they're setting themselves up really well, I would say. Even though in this time of COVID, you know, there's moratorium on paying rent for some folks, and so that would get in the way of profit, I suppose. Smoking a Jake Hackert. This is one of his really simple pipes. Just a good smoking pipe. Hackert 08. Smoking some Balkan Supreme from 09. So, fella near Chicago, I think, somewhere in Illinois, sent Northwest Pipe Smoker, I should say, more correctly, some Balkan Supreme. So, a bale, 5 pounds. And then through a little snafu, another 5 pounds arrived. So, I call that a lifetime supply. So thanks, Dave. You know who you are. I do appreciate it. Sent some pipes along too, and just a super nice thing to do. I am humbled, as always. You know, I'm just being me, so I'm not. I would probably be more comfortable if people did not do that, because it's really hard to feel like you can repay any of that. So that makes it a little uncomfortable for me. But the generosity is just stunning. So thanks, Dave. Yeah, really appreciate it. So coming over here, I always am kind of struck by, as I get older, I have less ability to do stuff, you know. I need to get this hip taken care of. And the other one is just about as bad, so we'll see. Too bad we couldn't do a package deal. But that would really be incapacitating. So, and I'm sure insurance wouldn't go for that. But it would be efficient. Because it's going to have, the left one's going to have to be done at some point in the next few years, probably. But John Russell and Adela, 160 acres in the middle of the wilderness. Wow. You would have to have a dream. And your dream, boy, that would be almost too big to come true, you know. And then to raise 7 kids up here too. Gee whiz. That is really something. And then they build a reservoir and flood the damn thing, you know. So, once again, I'm sure it was grand and wonderful and scary and every emotion possible for John and Adela, and they enjoyed it while they had it and put their souls into it, their everything into it, and now it's underwater. So, you know, there's talking about legacy again. There really isn't a lot that supersedes us, and that's fine. That's the way it is, you know. But it just strikes me once again. Boy, the air is so crisp and clean up here. This is the Cascade Range. And, yeah, it is amazing. As usual, had a few days of getting away from the routine at home and coming over here. It's a whole different climate, a whole different kind of cultural space. Vineyards, orchards, high desert, versus the rain coast, you know. So it's just really different. And it's great to take a break every now and again. So had a good time just driving around. My buddy who lives in the house over here, he you know, we get along fine, so it's easy to spend a few days. I never watch TV over there, but you know, again, a different little cultural thing. He's kind of always got the TV on or the radio or something. So we watched the Harry and Meghan interview and get back into the mass cultural discussion, I guess. But everything goes on with or without you, you know, so that's fine too. But you got to have dreams, you know. You got to have, it keeps you moving, it keeps you motivated, keeps you looking forward. And there's that old concept of being nobody, going nowhere as a good thing, as a reality thing. But I still think we all have dreams, and we all need to kind of carry those dreams forward. I think sometimes we don't even know we have dreams until you can't do them, and then you realize you had this dream that was never fulfilled. So, you know, you just have to, hopefully they're doable and reasonable, and so they can be made to happen, you know. And sometimes it's just as small as being present and being open to what happens in your immediate circle, you know. That can be a great thing. So So I'm going to keep trudging up the pass. The truck's spewing automatic transmission fluid. I got to get that taken care of. I poked around under there. I couldn't figure out where it's coming from. So, ka-ching, ka-ching. It's about due for an oil change, so take it down to my buddy Garrett, and he and his rednecks will get it fixed, and the truck will live. That's a great thing about mechanical stuff. You just replace pieces. You know, I still really like this Balkan Supreme. It is just, it's smooth after having sat for, what, 22 years? No. 19, that's 10, 12 years. 2008, 2019. So, it's still getting, I think it's kind of past its peak. But it's still really tasty. Burns nice down to gray ash. It's still, I think, just about my favorite smoke. So, and now I got lots. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. I'll put that in the cellar. I'll pack it in mason jars and set it away in a dark place and label it well. That's key. It was snowing on me earlier. Looks like there's a little snow up there, but nothing to speak of. So I'm going to be on my way.